Hi, everyone. Today, my name is Willie Bell again, and to the City Council. It's good to see you all, Mayor. And I'm here as a citizen on behalf of what's happening at the airports in Jackson. I have a problem when people are looking to take over what's noted to be mine. And that's what's happening with the airport. And it's not just happening with the airport. That's just one piece. Whenever you hear the term regionalization, whenever you hear that term, that means that we are looking to get some of what is yours. I haven't seen where anything else has been offered on the table that they're bringing something to us, but they're looking to take something from us. These bedroom communities are enjoying luxury off of the city of Jackson, because if you want to get out on the highway at 8 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the evening, you will see what's going on, that they are coming into Jackson and making money and then taking that money outside of Jackson, and that is cool. But why do you want to take over Jackson? That's a problem. That's a problem with me. The airports are ours. And I'm here to say that Jackson is in the midst of what you would call a hostile takeover. I've heard the term, I've heard it with the airport, but I've also heard it with the water system, that Rankin County now wants to be part of the making decisions with the water system. They are a customer. Now, you take care of your customer, but Walmart has never asked me to come be on their board, although I spend a lot of money at Walmart. You know, Walmart takes care of me when I go in. I give them money. They give me stuff. And so when people come and use our water systems or our sewer systems, we give them good service. We should give them good service, and they should pay for that good service. But to make a decision on that, no, that I don't agree with that. So I don't agree with changing any direction in the midst of the fight. There's a fight going on. And to make a board change, make any types of board changes in the midst of this fight is not a wise move. When I was taught to drive a stick shift, I was always taught never upshift going up a hill. And so because the car is going to go backwards on you. And you shouldn't make a change going up this hill because it's going to go backwards on you and you'll lose ground. We shouldn't lose ground on this. Mayor, the word on the street has it that the change that's coming up here with Mr. Stanley. Mr. Stanley, word on the street is that you're making that change strictly because he's white. I see the time. I'm gonna go and move on. That because he's white. Well, I have no problem with someone being white being placed on the board. Have no problem with that. But if he's being put on the board just because he's white, then that is a problem, because I don't see any place, I don't see in Madison, I don't see in Rankin County, I don't see in Pearl or Brandon that they're putting somebody black on the board just because he's black. Right, so now if he has, I'm taking it home right now. If that's the case, then Mayor, don't make that appointment. And I don't agree with making any appointments, and I don't think any of y'all should make any appointments or in this time. Thank you.
Question, I almost called you Reverend because you were bringing it home.
Well, I am a preacher.
The issue that you brought concerning, and it's something we've been saying for years in this community, the diversity issue, is why is there no blacks on the board in Clinton? Why are there no blacks on the board in Flowood? And when you look at this community, a lot of these bedroom communities, there's no blacks on none of these boards, which is not fair.
That's right.
Now, they look for Jackson to be fair, but yet they do what they want to, and that's not right. So I think that's what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Right. If you look at the percentage of those communities, they have a higher percentage of blacks than we have a higher percentage of whites.
I agree.
And yet they don't have any blacks. They have few blacks. Can't say for all the boards, but they're definitely not putting a black on the board just because he's black. Thank you.
Mr. Stamps.
Thank you, Mr. President. The airport board in itself is built for underrepresentation. It's a 5-member board, so there will be a period where you have two wards that are not represented at all times. So I do want to just throw that into the conversation that there's going to always be a period where there'll be two wards that are underrepresented in a 5-member board. But I'm not in agreement of increasing all these boards to 7 because it's hard enough to find good help anyway, much less try to make all these boards 7-member boards. So that's just another piece of the conversation. I think the mayor has something to say.
Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. President. You didn't ask me, but I'll tell you anyway. This conversation is thankfully was a conversation that wasn't held in a vacuum. It was held in a room full of what we would call leaders. Some of those leaders are in this room. Some of those leaders are at the State House right now representing us and our efforts and our endeavors. And in this room, I asked that room, what do we need to do in order to make sure that we're able to protect our interests? I'll tell you what the room said, maybe not unanimously, and those voices that were not a part of the unanimous voice didn't say a word. What that room said was, Mr. Mayor, we understand you have 2 expired seats. I'm talking about these are folks, our leaders, all right? We understand that there are 2 expired seats. Mr. Mayor, we are not going to tell you what to do, but we will recommend that for your next appointment, that you make sure that the appointment represents a more diverse situation that represents the city of Jackson, all right? I entered into that room and I asked those folks what they thought our next move should be, because what I knew is that there would be an opportunity for someone to come to the microphone and assume that this was something that Tony Yarber moved on in isolation. So we asked this question not in a vacuum, but out loud of people that we all respect. And those folk that we respect gave me, as the mayor of this city, the go-ahead to make an appointment. Now, whether that appointment is perceived as being conceding or conceding to something, that's up to interpretation. But what did not happen was there was not a decision that was made by this mayor without first seeking the advice of his elders. And that's what we did. This appointment has nothing to do with whether or not this brother is white. It has to do with the fact that there was an appointment, 2 appointments, as a matter of fact, that need to be made. Prior to now, we've never had so many issues, folks. Everybody used to be mad with Harvey because he didn't make appointments. Now everybody mad with me because I do make them. So either you can't have it both ways. Either you want appointments made or you don't want appointments made. And you can't pick and choose who it is that makes those appointments. It almost sounds like Obama. And so we are making an appointment. This body has the desire or the will to either go forward with that through the nomination or through the confirmation process. They can set it now or they can set it for whenever they so desire. But what I'm glad about is that wisdom was used in this situation, and there wasn't something that I did on my own. And so I wanted to make sure that, for the record, that was said out loud, that this appointment is being made. It is Ward 1's turn. And Ward 1, just like we do all the other folks, we ask, give me somebody. Ward 1 gave us somebody. We vetted that somebody. And that somebody we vetted is whose name has appeared on this docket. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For the sake of the audience and the media, can we make sure a copy of Mr. Stanley's resume gets distributed? I think it's in the packet and posted online, because I think there's a Mr. Stanley who's a meteorologist in town, and there's a Mr. Stanley we are nominating, and I want to make sure that we make it clear who precisely is being nominated. That we spoke yesterday, and I think it's because of the importance of the situation and the length of our agenda today, I think it makes sense to not deviate from our normal procedure, and our normal procedure has always been